Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Haley, and normally I am sharing videos about my outdoor adventures, hiking and camping with my kids, but today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different, and I'm gonna be doing a full video on the Yoto player. So this video is not sponsored by Yoto, but they did send me these over, like I said, over a year ago when they launched this. They wanted me to try it out. But yeah, this video is not sponsored. We've had our Yoto players for about a year and a half. I absolutely love them. So I wanted to do a full video on them in case you were thinking about getting a Yoto player, or maybe you already have one and you want to learn how to like fully use it. So I'm gonna be sharing all about it, why I love it, how to use it, and some tips and tricks maybe you didn't know about it. So if you don't know what the Yoto player is, this is them. There's two different versions. And essentially what it is it's a screen-free audio player. This is the regular Yoto and this is the Yoto Mini. This is what they came out with first, and this is a newer edition. I'm gonna show you how it works and what it kind of looks like. So I'm gonna play this one. It's called Classic Fairy Tales. It's got like Puss in Boots, Jack and the Beanstalk.
Puss in Boots.
So as you can see, it just picked up right where it's left, but I can scroll back to the beginning. Track 1, select it. And that's how the volume works. Or I can scroll, there's the 3 little pigs. Jack and the Beanstalk is my toddler's favorite, so he would select that. And then it always has the little icon there, which like I said, is great for kids who can't read yet or don't recognize numbers, so they know what track they're on.
Who lived in a cottage in the country, a long distance from London.
So that's what it sounds like and how it works.
She had an only child
super easy.
named Jack.
If you take it out, it stops. How the Yoto players play their audio is through these cards. So there's storybook cards, there's music cards, there's phonics, all different kinds. Some are well known, like the 3 Little Pigs. Some are new stories. These Ladybird audio adventures are super fun. Rudolph, anyway, there's just lots of different ones. There's Pixar and Disney. These cards range in prices anywhere from like $5 up to $15. Sometimes they're running sales. So I'm gonna go over the similarities and differences between these audio players so you can make a good decision which one would be best for your family. We do use both pretty frequently, but we probably use the Mini more just because it's smaller. But as far as similarities, they both play the same cards. They both have a headphone jack, so if you want to plug in headphones for your kid to use. They both have the screen that shows the same pixel picture. The Mini one is just obviously a lot smaller. And this one is much bigger. It's kind of hard to see with the light. In a darker room, it's really easy to see. They both have knobs that control. This one is for volume, and this one is for to skip either the chapter or the track, depending on the card. And same for this one. They both have access to the daily podcast and the radio that Yoto offers, and I'll talk more about that, but they both can play that. Now for some of the differences, the regular Yoto costs $100 if you're in the US, and the Mini costs $70. And what you get in the box is your Yoto player, of course. It comes with one make your own card, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit later, as well as the charging cord. So the large one has a charging dock on the bottom. You just set it on the magnetic charger and it can just sit there and charge. It's great. And the Mini uses a USB-C charger, so it comes with that, or you can, if you already have one, you can use that as well. The larger one, if you flip it over, it will light up for, you can use it as a nightlight in your kid's bedroom. Obviously, the bigger display, some people like that for leaving it beside their kid's bed. The larger one has a battery life of 10 hours, where the Mini one has a battery life of 20 hours. So a lot of people, when they have this one and they just leave it on the charging dock all the time, like in their kids' playroom or bedroom. My toddler does carry ours around, so I do notice it dies faster, but just something to be aware of. For me, if I had to recommend one, I almost always recommend the Mini just because it's so portable. We love to bring ours on road trips when we're flying. I've even brought it on a backpacking trip for my toddler to keep him entertained while I did camp chores, so I love it for that. He doesn't mind the smaller display screen, doesn't really make a difference to him. So if you're debating and you only want to get one, I do recommend the Mini. Also, it's a better price. I'm gonna talk more about the cards. I have ours stored in the Yoto card holder, and I love this thing. Before, our cards were just getting scattered everywhere, left in the car. So I have them in here. It is double-sided, but we haven't filled it up, so I don't need to do that quite yet. I'm gonna show you some of my toddler's favorite cards. Again, he's 3 years old, and these are the ones he listens to on repeat. The first one is this Classics fairy tale story. He loves the Jack and the Beanstalk from this one. Rudolph, we got this around Christmas time, and he still listens to it all the time, and it's February. The Gruffalo, if you're not from the UK, you might not have heard of this one. I hadn't, but Julia Donaldson, there's a ton of her books on there and we love them all. The Gruffalo is super fun. These Ladybird audio adventures are, I think, geared a little bit more towards older kids, like 4 or 5 and up, but he loves this Creepy Crawlies one so much. It's about bees, snails, earthworms, spiders. I don't know, he loves it. There's multiple of these bedtime stories and he loves them. The Christmas one has a Lightning McQueen story on there, so if your kid is a Cars lover, that one's really fun, but he loves Pixar, so this one is super fun. Like I said, they range in price and some of them are different lengths. You can filter by age if when you're looking for cards, so on the website you can search for 0 to 4 years old, 5 to 8 years old, and 8 to 12 years old, I believe it is, because some books are obviously better for older kids and some for younger. Buying cards, of course, can get expensive just because, you know, anywhere from $5 to $12, that can add up quickly. So one of the best ways to save money if you still want to have a lot of stories is to utilize the make your own cards. When you buy a Yoto player, it will come with one and then you can buy more on their website. But what you're able to do with these, there's just so much. So one of our favorite things to do is have my parents, my toddler's grandparents, read books and then we upload them to this card. So how that works is they have iPhones, so they just use the iPhone voice memo app and they'll record themselves, email it over to me, I download it, and then on the website you can link it to a playlist and upload that playlist to your card. There's tons of tutorials on how to do it. It takes a little, it's a learning curve, but after you get it, it's super quick. And then you can add your own icons, because as you skip through the Yoto, there's little icons to show which track you're on, which is great if your kid isn't reading yet, so they know which chapter is which. But there's so much you can put on these. You can download podcasts. It's totally legal. You just use the RSS link from the podcast website and download it to these. If you buy any books or songs on Audible, you can upload them to the Yoto cards. There's endless options of what you can use your make your own cards for, but I love these and you can add a ton of tracks. There's a lot of space. When you order new cards for your Yoto player, at first you will have to connect your Yoto player to Wi-Fi, and then when you put the card in and it's connected to Wi-Fi, it will store it to the device, to the actual Yoto player. So then after your first time putting the card in and it downloads onto the device, you can play it without any Wi-Fi or internet. It will remember. And another fun thing is when you put in a card, it will remember where it last started. So if you have an older kid who's in the middle of a book, when they pop the card back in, it will start from where they left off. Another option that is totally free is the Yoto Radio and the daily podcast that you can listen to from either of the Yoto players. So you just hold the button down and it'll start playing the radio or the podcast, whichever one you want to listen to, which is really fun. My toddler hasn't quite got into that yet. It's, I think, a little bit old for him, but if you have older kids, that's a really fun way to also utilize your Yoto player. Yoto also has their membership, which is a really fun way to accumulate cards and get some good deals. So it's $10 a month, and you don't have to do this. If you just want to buy the Yoto player, there's no monthly fee or anything. You just buy as many or as little cards as you want to. But if you do want to become a Yoto Club member, yeah, it's $10 a month, and then you get to choose 2 cards every month. If you don't want to get any cards that month, they'll roll over into the next month, so you can accumulate. If you have like a birthday coming up or a holiday that you want to get them multiple cards for, you can do that. But they have over 150 cards to choose from. They're always adding cards to it. So that's a really fun option, and it's a really good deal because a lot of the cards are $10 on their own, but you're getting 2 for $10. And then you also get free shipping on anything else you want to order, like accessories or extra cards. And then you get 10% off as well, all your orders. Another great thing about Yoto, I have so many good things to say, but is their customer service. So we have had our Yoto Mini, we'd had it for about a year. When I noticed the volume knob wasn't working very well, it would take a bunch of turns to actually turn it up at all. Sometimes it would go the wrong way. So I emailed their customer service, I sent in a video of what the issue was, and then they had me do a button test, and then they just said they sent me out a new one because it wasn't working. So then I shipped back my old one. Super easy, Really great customer service, really happy with that. So that's always a plus because they totally stand by their product. As far as what age is best for the Yoto player, it totally depends on you and your kid and how it fits into your lifestyle. Like I said earlier, my toddler started independently using it around 2.5. And that's when he really started getting into it, listening to it a lot more. Before that, it was more up to me to say, hey, let's play with this. Let's listen to a book while you are playing or eating. I do have a 13-month-old and she loves when any music comes on the Yoto. She loves that. I like playing the books for her because every kid can benefit from being read to. But she can't put the cards back in. She doesn't understand, obviously, adjusting the knobs. So it just depends on what you want to utilize the Yoto for. If you want it strictly for independent play, probably wait till they're a little older, like around 2.5. But if you just want an option to play music for your kids or have stories play for them, if you don't have the chance to read to them at a certain time, I think the Yoto is great for all ages. Here's what the Yoto app looks like. Right now I'm under my library and you can scroll through and see all the cards. So you actually can play these either from your phone, or if there's no card in the Yoto player, you can still play it. You just click on whatever card you want and then you can say, it says play from, and then you can select which device you want. So if you forget your cards, you can still play them. And then you can check the settings of your Yoto player. So here's my toddler's mini. You can change the volume limit for any time of day. You can adjust the brightness. It allows you to hook it up to Bluetooth. So if you want to actually play music from your phone through your Yoto device, you can also do that, which is kind of fun. The app is also where you can see the playlist you've made for your make your own cards. So you go to more, make your own, and these are the playlists I've made. I have a Thomas the Tank Engine one, Frog and Toad, Curious George, and these are the ones my parents have read. You can also see your podcast cards on there, and those, if you have your card in there when your device is connected to Wi-Fi, it will actually update the podcast if they come out with new episodes, which is pretty cool. On Yoto's website, they have some accessories you can purchase. This silicone cover is called the Adventure Jacket. It doesn't actually come with the Yoto, so that was a separate purchase. Same for the Mini, but I highly recommend them. They're silicone and just keep your Yoto device a little more protected if they were to get dropped, especially if you're traveling with yours. This case is also one of their accessories. They have headphones, other card holders, whole cases that you can keep your headphones, cards, and device in for your kid to carry around. So just check out their website to see which accessories they have if you're interested in any. I believe a lot of them are also sold on Amazon. So why do I love the Yoto player so much? There's 100 reasons, and I'm gonna go over all of them. It's really helped cut my toddler's screen time down because he will listen to this instead of watching a show on our road trips, or we can do this after he wakes up from a nap. We listen to books while he's eating a snack. It's designed for kids to be able to use it independently. So my toddler is 3 years old. He can pick out his own cards, put them in the player, adjust the volume, skip to the tracks he wants to listen to, and I love that because he's just able to play by himself doing it, or at a car ride he's able to use it by himself and I can drive without having to worry about having to help him. I love that it's also encouraging him to love reading and helping him become a better reader, increasing his vocabulary. There's just so many good things about it. Now for the things I don't love about the Yoto player, honestly it's very minimum. The only things I can really think about are the silicone cases kind of attract hair. We have a dog, so his hair gets stuck to it a lot. I wish they had free shipping on all orders, but you do have to spend $50 to get free shipping unless you're a Yoto Club member, but that's pretty standard. I really can't complain too much about that. And I wish the larger Yoto had a longer battery life, but that's pretty much the only things I could think of that I didn't love about the Yoto player. Honestly, I pretty much love everything and I highly recommend it. I think Yoto knocked it out of the park with this, such a fun and educational way to help kids. So if you have any other questions that I didn't get to in this video, I tried to get absolutely everything, but let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I do have a discount code with Yoto for 10% off, so that'll be in the description. But anyway, thanks you guys so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.